Hello everyone. So I want to tell you my story about COVID. If you might have seen on social media somewhere, I ended up contracting COVID and ended up in the hospital. And I just wanted to put my story out there and kind of spread my experience and what it was like for me and what COVID can be. And clearly I'm on the mend and getting better now. But it was so scary, and I don't want anyone to go through this, and I just want to just put it out there, like what COVID is, because a lot of people don't believe that it's bad and people aren't scared of it. So I just wanted to put my story out there. I did film some throughout the process, but I'll be filling in like little bits where information's missing. So whenever you see this, this is current day. I'm also going to have day by day what my symptoms were in the description below. So I'm not going to talk about like every little detail, but if you're interested to see how things progressed for me, it'll be in the description. So here we go.
Oh, hi guys. So I'm kind of sick. Long story short, I think I might have a sinus infection or just a cold. I started trying to run again on Sunday. Scott and one of our housemates and I started the Couch to 5K program. And I know that like when I start running in the cold, until I get conditioned, my lungs like I cough a lot because I have activity induced asthma. So like it's a normal thing for me to get like phlegmy and cough and like just get all that gunk out, right? So Sunday we ran. Monday I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel kind of warm, but like I didn't take my temperature, and I got to work and we have to take our temperature there, and I scanned in normally and I was like, okay, so I'm fine. And then last night I ended up taking my temperature around like 6 or 7, and I was at 99.8, 99.6. I was at 99.6 and I was like, oh crap, like at 100 you're supposed to call off work. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna watch it. I'll take my temperature before bed and like before I go to work and stuff and see how it is. So I ate dinner and we were just like hanging out in the living room and stuff, and then I just started feeling like kind of crappy. So I was like, okay, well, I'll take my temperature and see what it is again, and I was at 100.8.
As soon as I saw that my temperature was at 100, I immediately called off work that night. So my last day at work was Monday, and then I took the rest of the week off, and that was our last week before Christmas break.
Hello everyone. I feel like garbage and it's my birthday. Happy birthday. I'm pretty sure I just have a sinus infection, but I can't get it anywhere until I get a negative test result. And I took a test yesterday, so hopefully it'll be back tomorrow. Oh, I feel like garbage. As long as I can keep my fever down, I feel better. But I'm just so tired. And like fever, but chills and cold, and I just want to feel better. Happy birthday. This actually happens often on my birthday where I get sick. I had pneumonia on my 25th birthday, and I was in the same hospital that I was born in with my mom, and it didn't like even occur to me until she was like, hey, 25 years ago we were in this same hospital, the same place. And yeah, just just want to feel better. I want to stop getting sick on my birthday. We were supposed to have a seafood boil today. My roommates were gonna make a seafood boil for my birthday, but I don't want to eat anything, so that's getting pushed. Scott is traveling right now for work, so it's just me and this guy. I think he might, like, actually love me. He doesn't cuddle like this often, but he was with me all yesterday, and he's been with me all today. So, as weird as it might sound, I think he actually loves me. I think this is the first time I've been, like, this sick with him. Like, I might have had, like, a stomach, like an upset stomach or something, but I don't think I've ever been, like, this sick since we've had him. And we got him the July before this past one, so we've had him for a year and a couple months. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get back to relaxing because I'm so freaking tired. Happy birthday.
This night I actually ended up going to the hospital for the first time. I woke up probably around 10 or 11 p.m. and I had a huge fever. It was at about 103, like just under 103, and I was so nauseous. It was so hard for me to move. At this point, Scott was still traveling home from work, and I was alone. And I called my mom and I told her what was happening, and she said, "You need to go to the hospital." The nausea that I felt through this whole, like, first probably 2/3 was unbelievable. At one point, I had woken up in the middle of the night and needed to use the restroom, and it took me an hour and a half to get from one side of my bed to the other and sit up and put a mask on and get to the bathroom. It was unbelievable, and it was all I could do that night to just breathe through the nausea pain and tell my mom what was happening. So I ended up calling my roommate to wake her up and asked her to take me to the ER. And once I, like, could kind of sit there and get my fever down, the nausea subsided. And the strangest thing about this is, like, minute by minute it changes. Like, I was, like, dying of nausea 1 minute, and about 5 minutes later I was like, okay, I can walk, I can stand, I feel good. It was bizarre. But yep, my birthday night was the first night I went to the hospital. So for this trip, they just triaged me. They have, like, an outdoor check-in for the emergency room, and then they have, like, a triage tent set up, a heated tent, and they've probably got like 18 stations in there, and they just took me in there. They really didn't do anything for me. They just gave me some Motrin and ibuprofen for my fever, and kind of told me what to do at home, but they said they weren't going to, like, really do anything further because they're like, for a sick person, you look and sound good. And then they gave me a prescription for some anti-nausea medication and sent me home, and I did pretty okay the rest of the night. Hi everybody. So just, this is life right now. I have tested positive for COVID, and I want to kind of start documenting things. I would have started it sooner, but I didn't know that I had it, so I can't. I'm in the hospital for the second time. I can't breathe, and I'm so nauseous and tired. I had a chest x-ray. I have an IV blood drawn. They gave me prednisone pills and anti-nausea pills again.
Now I'm just waiting on everything. Please wear your mask.
So through this, I actually lost a lot of time. It was very hard for me to have any conception of time. So even now, I don't feel like I've been as sick for as long as I have been. So where like the darkest part of all this came in is very hard for me to pinpoint, but I think it was probably around day 7. At this point, Scott is home. He has taken me to the ER for the second time, and I was just laying in bed around maybe like 2 in the morning, and I came to terms with dying and that it was a possibility. And I've never not been afraid of death until this moment. And I was just so, I don't know if it was that I was incapable of like processing emotion or like feeling emotion or something, but I thought about it and I was like, you know, it would just be like falling asleep. I wouldn't know. Like I've had a really good life. I've had a nephew. On the 19th, he got baptized, and I was am his godmother. I'm like, that happened. Even though I've never had like my own classroom, I've been a teacher. I've impacted students. I've like done stuff in my career. I've traveled outside of the country. I've had experiences. I've moved to California. Like I've done a lot, and I was like, you know what? I've had a good life, and if it happens, like it happens. And it's even now kind of hard for me to process that, and I think it'll take me a while, but thankfully we are here, and that wasn't my story, but it is the story of a lot of people, and there's a lot to unpack here mentally, but it is very hard for me to kind of think about all that. The next clip you're going to see, I wanted to put these in because this is when I was about to be admitted to the hospital, and they had taken me into the actual emergency room. And I want you to see what it's like to sit in one of these rooms by yourself. And like, this is with nobody in there. So you'll see like a makeshift quarantine door. Like there's these big heavy plexiglass and steel doors that they have to close you off behind. When I got in there, 3 nurses rushed me, and I had people putting stickers, like heart monitors on me, and blood pressure cuffs, and IVs and all kinds of stuff. And I wasn't really able to process emotion, so I didn't feel as scared as I probably would have, but it was very scary. And yeah, you'll kind of just see the room. So I'm now in the hospital. I've been admitted. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, but they have me on oxygen, and they gave me some steroids, and they said they're gonna give me a medicine that's meant for COVID. So I don't know when I'm gonna get that, but I'm just trying to relax. I get very, very winded just moving, and when I came in, my oxygen percentage was at 89%, and it's meant to be 95 to 100. So the last time I checked it, it was at 94, but that's with oxygen, so I'm still not really able to breathe on my own. Yeah. Please just wear your mask and protect other people. It's not political or anything that anybody else is making it. This is really like saving lives. Yeah. Please just stay safe. Love you guys. Still in the hospital. I went to the bathroom for the first time since I got here. But, so the bathroom is that door right there. It's not far at all. But trying to get there was like a marathon. And I was afraid that like I wasn't gonna make it. So I was like I wasn't rushing, but I was walking faster than I probably should have. And I winded myself way too much. And even with the oxygen, I almost I was like kind of panicking because I felt like I couldn't get enough air in. But I was able to catch my breath like relatively quickly. And then I walked a lot slower back to bed. So, needless to say, I'm gonna be very careful doing that. And I feel like I have something in my eye. I don't talk a ton just because it's a little difficult, but I'm trying to take deep breaths and keep my lungs strong, as strong as I can be. And the nurse just came in and gave me an IV liquid drip. I've had the IV in since I got to the ER last night, but they just put me on liquids, so hopefully that helps with like energy and stuff. Stay hydrated. I got breakfast this morning and could eat like none of it. So I just really don't have an appetite still, and I just got very full. So there's that. And then the nurse is like, "Oh, lunch should be here in an hour." And I was like, Jesus, there's no way. I can't even like think about eating right now, but I'll try. This is my very first time ever being admitted to the hospital. I've never stayed over for anything. I've never like not known when I was gonna go home. At one point, the nurse came in to check on me, and they were like, "Okay, well, we're trying to wean you off of the oxygen." So I came in, they had me at 3 liters. I don't know really what that means, but then they moved me up to my room and moved me down to 2 liters. And then this morning, the nurse was like, "All right, well, let's see how you do on 1 liter." And my oxygen percentage level dropped to like 87%, I think. And you're meant to be, a normal range is 95 to 100. So at 2 liters, I'm like 90 or 91, I think. So I still really can't breathe on my own. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. It's the pneumonia that's messing me up. I had pneumonia on my 25th birthday, so that probably messed up my lungs. And then I got pneumonia from COVID, and I think that's really where my problem is. They said they've taken 2 chest x-rays, like they took one the second time I came in, and then they took one this time when I came in. And from the couple days in between my 2 hospital visits, it's gotten worse. So that's really what's messing everything up. So, Merry Christmas. Updates as I get them. After this, I got 1 round of the remdesivir, which is a medicine that is being used to specifically treat COVID. And typically it's a 5-day course. Luckily, I actually just went home after 1. So I was admitted to the hospital Christmas morning. So it would have been like midnight on the 25th, like right at the very beginning of the 24th, 25th. And I went home the night of the 26th. So they tested my breathing. I was able to do okay on room oxygen and breathe on my own. They sent me home with oxygen. They sent me home with steroids, an antibiotic, and something to keep my stomach from producing acid so that I don't get stomach ulcers from like the antibiotics and stuff. I have to follow up with a doctor at some point. I just have not had the energy to do that. But here are some little videos of kind of how things have been since I got home. This has been home base for like 2 weeks, and everything is just like next to my bed. I'm piling up and I can't stand it. So slowly over the next couple of days, this will all get cleaned up. I just ate a whole banana. I'm so excited, and I don't feel disgusting. I haven't been able to eat like at all, and a whole banana is amazing. I'm probably not looking very good right now. I don't even care because I actually do feel a lot better physically and mentally. Today has kind of been a little bit of a hard day. Well, first, it takes me a very long time to wake up. So I do actually sleep a lot. I slept probably until about noon today, and it takes me a while to like kind of wake up, and my head is still, it's kind of hard to focus. But I kind of just sit in bed and relax. It's really all I do right now is sit in bed and just rest. I try to take a shower, and I actually started graying out in the shower and had to get out and sit on the floor. So I didn't get a shower, but maybe later tonight I will. I ate some pasta and drank some Pedialyte. It was actually very scary, like this whole shower scenario. I'm so weak from like not really being able to eat. And I do still get very winded very quickly. I haven't used the oxygen that the hospital sent home with me. Like, I still feel okay. I am able to recover my breath. It just takes a very long time. But yeah, I'm just exhausted. I don't know if any of this is going to even make sense. This is all going to be very choppy, but here we are. I've been using, I forget what they call this, but they say IS. But it's just a breathing tool, and I have to keep this little bead in between there, and it measures how many milliliters of air I can inhale at a time. But it's just to make sure that I'm getting deep breaths and keeping my lungs strengthened. And actually, I'm doing really well. My numbers are going up. So in the hospital, she got a baseline and I was at 1,000. So now I'm able to keep that little thing up at about 2,000. So it used to burn to inhale too deeply, but I don't feel any burning. It's just very tight after a while. So just trying to like open up the bottom of my lungs is what I'm really working on. Yeah, just very tired, just so unbelievably weak. I stepped on the scale today, and today is day 15 for me since my first symptoms, and in these 2 weeks I have lost 20 pounds. But I'm in a good mindset, I think. I kind of like where I am. I really just want to thank my body for like what it has pulled me through, and like I want to feed it good things. I've been eating like just a lot of bananas, not a lot, but I've been eating like bananas, zucchini and yellow squash. I had some plain pasta. Like, I'm just trying to do like kind things to my body and like think kind thoughts towards my body, which is, in the past I've been very neglectful and like mean to my body, and she's done a lot for me, so I really want to thank her for what she's done. A goal today, I wanted to go outside and just sit. I still might, but it's like 4 o'clock, so it's gonna start getting dark soon, and I don't know if I'm ready to like walk yet. But I would like to sit outside and get some fresh air. It was raining all day yesterday, so I really couldn't do it. And it seemed like it was really nice today. Yeah, I just like that I can like hold a conversation now and actually talk for almost 6 minutes at a time. So, all right. Well, I'm getting very tired, so I'm gonna rest. But here's your update for today, where I am. Okay, so let's finish up this saga. So, I kind of like I mentioned quickly before, this whole thing is so bizarre because for me at least, it's like things change so quickly. I would be fine, and then I would plummet, and then I would be fine again, and then I would plummet again. And my stint in the hospital didn't last as long as I even thought it would. I thought I was going to be in there for a few days at least, but luckily I like was able to just get that little bit of help, and a lot of help, and do okay on my own. God, there's just so much to talk about, and so many things that I'm still remembering, and it's just really unbelievable what I went through. And it wasn't until I was being wheeled out of the hospital to be discharged by my nurse, and her and I were we were talking about everything, and she was like, yeah, people just think like you get it and you're fine, or you go into the hospital and you get some medicine and you're good. She's like, but the stuff that you got, people don't just get it. Like, you have to be, I forget the word, I wish I could remember the word. It wasn't septic, but it was like something, an S. She's like, you have to be very bad to get that medicine. And that's kind of the first time it hit me, like how bad I was. I knew I was bad. Like the nights I took so many showers trying to get my fever down. I would be at like 102.5 or 103 almost, and just shivering. I was so cold. Uncontrollable shivers. Just trying to get the energy up to get to the shower to just like cool myself down. Like I talked to myself, and I would just have to like breathe and tell myself relax, or like just one more move, just one more inch, like trying to get to the edge of the bed. And I can't even explain to you what I went through fully. Nobody will ever understand what I went through. I can't make you understand it. I can't put it in your brain. I just need to beg you to please try to empathize a little with what I went through and understand I never ever want anyone to go through this. Nobody I love, nobody I dislike, the worst people in the world, no. I don't wish this on anybody. It's scary and it hurts, and I may be messed up for the rest of my life because of it. Like, physically, my lungs, I don't know what kind of side effects this is gonna have, or like what, losing my smell. I lost my smell for a little bit. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. But yeah, so this is kind of the tail end of my story. I think right now I'm just gonna have a lot of recovery, getting my lungs built back up and my energy, and just getting back to where I was. And yeah, I think it's just gonna be a lot of the same from here on out, hopefully. Get the vaccine, please. Please get the vaccine. Just save yourself and other people and end this. Like, why do people have to go through this? They don't. Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to talk to me more about it, I am very open to sharing my experience. You can ask me anything in the comments, or you can send me like a message on Instagram or something, and I would be more than happy to talk to you about this. But I think this is where I'm gonna leave it, just with kindness and compassion. And I hope that those of you who don't see things find clarity and understanding. And I implore you to change your mind about all of this and just see past all of the garbage that has been put out there. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that this touched somebody and got through to somebody. And just know that even if I don't know you, I love you, and I hope you the best health and the most safety and everything. Just, yeah, have a good life. Bye, guys.